Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in dark, I walk around the neighborhood.
Hi guys, welcome back to a new video with me. Today I thought that I would sort of bring you along with me while I'm working Elsa. Some of you may know if you follow my Instagram, or may have noticed that she's had a nice break over Christmas, and she's sort of just coming back into work now because of our surfaces and our arenas are getting a bit better now, so we thought we'd start bringing her back in. So I thought I'd show you how we're sort of handling that at the moment, because as you can imagine, she gets quite fresh. She's 6 now. She had her birthday a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, I'm not sure. So yeah, I'll come along with me. No, you'll come along with me. Anyway, so this is what I do.
Hi guys, voiceover Harriet here. So I just thought that I would chat over these next couple of clips. I was going to vlog, but I didn't think that was a very good idea to do while lunging and riding. I just thought I would fill you guys in on everything that's sort of happened, what's happened with Elsa the last couple of months, and why I haven't really been posting about her too much. Just kind of fill you guys in. So as we all know, everything seemed to kind of go a bit wrong last year. And basically what happened was we had Elsa match fit, ready to compete last year around October time. And she was pretty much ready to go out and win some stuff. I think she was a real contender for this year's age classes, the way she was going last year. But my school, and I'm sure most other schools, had a system in place that it was year group isolation. So if someone in a year group got coronavirus tested positive, then the whole year group would have to go home for 2 weeks. And this obviously meant that I couldn't come up to the horses in this time, and I got sent home 3 times last year. And we just thought that this inconsistency was really not very good for Elsa in her work, so we decided to just turn her away for the winter, let her grow into herself, be a horse. And we just thought we'd turn her away until we knew what was going to happen, because we didn't know if we were going to all be sent home and that she'd just be turned away properly. So we just thought the safest thing to do was just to let her be herself and just give her a bit of a break, and it's exactly what we did. So she's only really been back in work about a week now. I've ridden her 3 times and lunged her once, and as you can see here, she finds this surface in our lunging arena a bit hard at the moment because we've had such bad rain that it's quite boggy, but it does dry out and it's quite a nice arena to work in. Just where that tree line is, there's about a 10-meter drop, so it's like lunging on the edge of a cliff, so it's really good to desensitize her on. I mean, there's loads of distractions, and as you can see, she is still incredibly responsive to me, which I'm really proud of. She's such a fabulous mare. So you can see that I'm just walking up and down the school and just kind of letting her move around, find bits of surface where she's happiest, just have a look around. I don't want to drill her round and round and round on the same spot, because she'll end up burying herself, and that's not really good for them to just drill round on a circle. So I just work up and down the school, find where she's happiest. We've been lunging her for about 15 minutes before every ride, just to let some energy out. As you can imagine, she can get quite fresh. So we're just letting her do whatever she wants. As you can see, she's still really responsive to me. And we just had her side reins on really loose. They were only there really so that she's getting used to them again now that she's coming back into work. She's not got them on for very long. We only put them on for about 2 minutes at the end of this lunging section of our session. And we just kind of let her trot around, have a look. I also find it incredibly helpful as a rider to see how she's moving on the ground before I get on, because it does mean that if I see something on the ground that I don't feel when I'm riding, that I know it's something that I need to change and not something that she's doing. It also means that if she's in a ridiculously excitable mood, that I am prepared for that, and we can also get some energy out before I ride. You can see here she turned in suddenly, which isn't very good, but I let her off because she had been working really nicely before. And she did this thing, well, she used to, where she rode and also lunged a definite oval rather than a circle, and she'd fall in every other side. I think this was just because if she was not too confident going past those hedges, as when she was sort of quite new to us and we were working at this school, a pigeon jumped out at her and frightened her quite a bit. But yeah, she, as you can see, is perfectly happy just working in here. I just have to keep my whip at her shoulder just to keep her out, and you can see she's listening to me and she's just pootling along. I'm really happy with how she's working in here because of it can be quite a stressful place for her, I find, because there's a road behind the bush that she can't see but she can hear, and I just think it's such a good place to desensitize them. Like, she is so calm in there now and it's really, really nice to see. So once Elsa had sort of stretched out, once I was happy with how she'd been working and she was relaxing, I was happy I'd seen all her paces, that she was listening, I then just let her come down to walk on her own. So I just kind of stood there as a bit of an ornament and just let her keep trotting until she wanted to walk, and I just kind of let her go. She only did about 5 minutes each way, just enough to warm up her muscles, get her stretching, just so that I could see how she was moving. And then I took her down into the bottom arena to ride. So once I got down there, I just sat really calmly, had her on quite a loose rein, and just let her wander around on each rein, just so she could see everything before we started working, give her no excuse to spook at anything. I also give her lots of praise when she walks past the mirrors, just because if she did find them quite challenging to work with before, because if she pulled funny faces at herself, she was in season, etc, etc. I also did quite a few walk pirouettes. Now, they're quite messy, they don't actually look like walk pirouettes, and they're not very together, but you know what, she moved off my outside leg and bent around my inside thigh, so I couldn't be happy with that. You can also see in her transitions she takes a while to move forward in the trot when I ask her to move up the pace. That's just because she obviously has lost a bit of muscle when she's had her time off, so she hasn't really got the same push that she would if she was in full work. To fix this, I'm just going to be, and I do quite a lot this session, just bringing her back in the trot, making her sit really, really steady, and then making her push forward into a bigger trot. These are quite slight at the moment because obviously you wouldn't run a marathon if you've never run a single meter in your life. So you've got to build it up slowly, but that will come quite quickly, I think, now that she's working again. Her frame obviously isn't as strong as it used to be, but as you can see, she knows what she's doing. She just hasn't quite got the strength to hold her frame for too long at the moment, because obviously she wouldn't trot around the field holding her frame, so why would she naturally think to do it now after all that time off? But she is still really responsive, she's still quite a sharp ride, and I'm really glad because I always love a responsive ride. I've got Chesney if I want to go slow. I did lots of circles with her, just varying the size, pushing her in and out, making sure she was moving around my leg. I also kept my leg active on her sides, just so that she wasn't shocked when it touched her. I was really happy with how she was working today, because you can't really tell, but it was quite windy down there, so I did quite a few transitions. Now, as you can see, they're really messy, and she didn't really stand properly, but she was reacting nicely to my seat. And I only wanted a reaction. I wasn't actually asking for the movement. I was just seeing if she was reacting to my aids in the correct way. The movements can come later when I can refine them. I have more time. As you can see in the canter, she's quite on the forehand. This is once again just because she hasn't really got too much muscle. So I do a few circles, varying turns. So I'll collect her on a circle, and then I will push her forward down the long side. This just means that she's building up muscle every time she pushes forward. As you could see, she finds it quite hard to maintain the canter around the corners. This is just because she hasn't got the push. So here I'm just pushing her around the circle, and then I collect her up the long side. See, normally in work I would collect up the short side and push down the long side, but because if she's still quite fresh, I don't really want her charging off down the long side with me and then not really giving me enough time to collect her before the short again. So I'm just letting her poot along, do her own thing. As you can see, she was really happy to be back ridden again. She quite likes being ridden, so it's nice to have a horse that enjoys her work. I was really happy with how she went today. As per usual, this mare never disappoints me. And yeah, I was really happy with how she was going. Once I was happy with the work she'd done and I was sure she was reacting to me in the way I wanted, I got a couple of good movements out of her. I just let her stretch in the walk and the trot. Normally I would canter her around on the buckle and let her stretch, but obviously because it was quite windy I didn't really want to risk it, so I just settled for safe but not sorry. And I just let her stretch out and relax a bit, and once I was happy that she was cool, I just walked her around a bit with Mum. She came into the arena and just wandered around, just so that she was like happy and interactive in the last couple of minutes, so that it wasn't just come in the school, work and then leave. I do want her to associate the school with sort of relaxing things, so we just pootled around and chatted. Once I was happy that she was cool and she was nice and calm and relaxed again, I walked her up the track and back. We're really lucky to have the track, just because of it means that we can cool them off without having to actually go for a hack and put on our high vis, etc., and bother with the cars.
Fall down the hole, Elsa. Say hello to Mummy. Go on. No means for personal space whatsoever. Bye-bye. Oh, wait, no, Elsa, come back. Elsa! Good girl. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me and seeing what we do with Elsa when we bring her back into work. This is under no means a how to bring your youngster back into work video, because I'm not a professional. This is just how we're doing it. For every horse is a different strategy needed. Sorry, my dog. Yeah, for every horse there's a different strategy needed. Every horse has different things that work and things that don't. So this is just how we're bringing Elsa back in. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. For more updates on how Elsa's doing, you can check my Instagram, typically Chestnut. I'll see you in next week's video. Bye!